When I visited Auvers, France, I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly. It's a city where a small village where Van Gogh lived for the last year or so of his life, I believe. And I visited this studio that supposedly Van Gogh went and painted there. And they had several still life scenes set up at the studio, and we walked through and we could take pictures. So this is one picture I took, and I was really mesmerized by the window. I mean, this is an untouched photograph. How the windows are just, the view is just so gorgeous and diffuse. It's so pretty. I've painted this several times already, and I thought it would be a good one to share. It's not as difficult as it looks, and I'm going to try to do a looser version of this. I've done very detailed before, so I'm trying to scale back and make it a little more free and loose. So to start with, I did a very minimal outline. This is going to be line and wash. I used this really cool pen that I got, and you can just use an eyedropper to fill up with the ink. And it's got a fewed nib, so you can see that it's bent. There you go. You can see it's bent so that you can make very broad lines, very broad, bold lines, or you can turn it on the tip and just make very fine lines. And I like it using a fountain pen or any pen on textured paper because you don't get that perfect line. It kind of skips, and I think that really makes it pretty. I did get a couple of ink smears here with my hand, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to just blend in, and it's going to add to it. So let's get started. So here is the reference, like I shared. What I'm going to do is wet and wet on the window panes, and just wet it with water first and drop in some color. Okay, I've got some colors mixed up here. I've got Winsor Blue, which is the same as Phthalo Blue, Quin Gold, Lemon Yellow, and Permanent Rose. So these are just the colors I'm going to drop in when I add some water up here for the window panes. I could use a brush that holds more water and a little bigger one. I'm just going to wet all 3 panes. I'm not going to worry if I go outside the lines. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to move it around to see if I see any dry spots. And I think I do over, oops, I put some paint on here. That's okay, it needs to be there anyway. Okay. So I'm going to drop in some blue at the top. Let's add some of the Quin Gold at the bottom. I'll just drop in some Permanent Rose here and there. Some of the Lemon Yellow. I'm going to use Gravity. This is hard to show. And kind of move things around. Just going up and down. paper towel to pick up. I don't like that. That just all mixed together and made a yucky green, but I like how these two look. I'm going to drop in a little of the phthalo blue to kind of get that a little less dull, and then a little of the pink at the bottom. Kind of encourage it to okay, I think that's gonna be pretty. Clean this up at the bottom a little extra paint. Okay, I think that's gonna be it. Well, maybe a little bit more blue here. Some Gold going up like we saw in the window. Pick up some more of this excess up at the top. The mat's going to cover that very top part, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, I like it. I'll let it dry. Okay, I like how the gold, that Quinn Gold, goes up like the grasses do. Okay, we're going to let that dry. While it's drying, let's work on the fruit. We're going to have some fun with this fruit. There's some Scarlet Lake here. I'm going to work on this apple right here. I want to make sure that I leave some highlights on the apple to give it some form. So I'm mixing some Scarlet Lake with this Permanent Rose. And this is just going to be the first layer. Okay, damp brush, just kind of smooth those edges a little. Let it dry, just let it dry. Don't mess with it. I'll pick up some of this extra water up there. That's good. That go a little bit closer to the line. See, I'm fiddling. Diane, just stop. Painting loose is very difficult for me, but I'm really trying. Okay, we have one apple. So let's make, I think this is a pear over here. It looks to be kind of orangey, so I'm going to mix a little bit of the Scarlet Lake with the Quinn Gold here. Let's see, it doesn't really matter, just as long as you keep different values on it. Okay, damp brush, dab it off, kind of soften that edge. Okay, can't touch this one because it's too close to that, so I'll do this last. I think that's an orange back in there. So I am going to use a little bit of this transparent orange and then add a little bit of the Quinn Rose, I think. Drop in a little bit of the Quinn Rose, just down here at the bottom. Rinse my brush, dab it so it's not too wet, and smooth that top. Okay, let's see what else. I think I can do this plum. So I'm going to mix a little of the Quinn Rose with a little bit of this blue and get kind of a purple. Just painting the bottom here. The top is going to be made by doing a damp brush, encouraging the paint to move up some. I'm going to put a little bit more down here, just drop in, just to make it darker at the bottom. Just drop in some more pigment, some more paint. Let's see. I'm doing a little lifting because I don't want it going all the way to the top. I encouraged it a little bit too much. Okay, this bottom fruit, I think it's a peach. I'm not sure what it is, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter what color. I'm going to use a little bit of this mix that's got some permanent rose and Scarlet Lake and Quinn Gold. Rinse my brush, smooth that edge. Okay, this plum just needs to have some paint lifted, so I'm using a dry brush and just lifting some of it up. Okay, let's see, this looks like another apple. That should be dry enough. It bleeds some, that's fine. It looks pretty that way. So let's do some more. This is Quinn, no, it's Permanent Rose. Yeah, that's good. Permanent Rose and a little Scarlet Lake to make it less pinky. Okay, damp brush. Rinsed it out because it had a lot of pigment still on it. doing some lifting here at the top. Kind of smooth that edge. See, I'm fiddling too much. Okay. These are some grapes up here. So I'm gonna I think they're kind of very light green. That's good, I think. Mix a little of the phthalo blue with the lemon yellow, and some of the permanent rose came through. I'm just splotching it down here. It will read like grapes later. Or if it doesn't read like grapes, it'll look like, well, it's fruit. It belongs in there. Put a little darker Quin Gold at the bottom. I'm going to lift out a little up here at the top. We've got some grapes here at the bottom. I think, oh, I've got my kitten here. Hey, cucumber. Let's see, let's do a little bit more of this green. Very pale. That's better. And I'm just kind of dabbing it here and there. I want to leave some white. Dab in a little darker at the bottom. I like how the window panes turned out. It turned out really pretty. Okay, so for this glass, I'm going to mix up, I'm going to take a little bit more abstract view of it and just mix up a little bit of this blue, very pale. Just kind of splotch some in here and there, just on the inside, to show that there's some kind of drink. There's a little reflection in the stem. Take a damp brush. I'm going to do a little smoothing here at the top. I'm going to add a little bit of this grape color up here. Smooth right over it just to have it kind of diffuse out. And a little bit of this blue at the bottom here, it's reflecting the base of it. I'm going to leave that alone. This is a green leaf right in here. So let's take some of this Windsor blue, and this Quin Gold will make a real pretty leaf color. And I'm just putting it just along the bottom, and then rinsing my brush, dabbing it, and then smearing that edge. I'm going to add a little more of the blue in here. Let's throw some pink. Let's just mix all this to get darker values at the bottom. I'm just dot, 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 getting it in there. Okay, so in this bottle, there is a little bit of another piece of fruit back there. So I'm going to paint. I'm going to use that same blue to paint a little bit around the edge of the bottle. I'm going to drop in a little bit of the red here because it would reflect. I'll drop a little bit more of that red. And then that fruit, whatever it is, I think it may be, I don't know what it is, but I'm just going to drop in a little bit of color just to suggest there's fruit back there. I took a damp brush. Let's kind of make all this I drop a little pink into that. Oh yeah. Let's spread it out some. Okay, you know there's a piece of fruit back there. Okay, so I think right now we're going to have to wait and let all this dry before we do anything else. It's dry now. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to paint around the window frame, and where you see this light right here and around the window, I'm going to leave it white. I'm going to try to avoid this area. It's going to be pretty easy right here because I can see it, but I need to make sure that I leave a strip of white here and all the way down there. And I've mixed up a, let's see, sap green, and sap green was a little bit too greenish, too bright, so I put a little burnt sienna in it. This was just the sap green by itself, and it's just too bright, so I toned it down a little bit with some burnt sienna. I'm going to leave some white spots here and there. While it's still wet, I'm just dabbing some in. That'll give it a little texture. Leaving a little white spot there. went a little over the line there, but that's okay. You see how I left that white highlight there, which lets you believe that it actually is a, I don't know what you would call that, some kind of handle to open the window. Okay, so now I'm going to mix up a real light blue color. This shows really dark, but I'm going to do it a lot lighter than that because I want this to be a very light and airy piece. And I will add some contrast around here because this is our focal point. This is where the viewer is going to land their eyes. They're like, oh, the fruit is so beautiful. So we're going to add contrast so that it draws the attention. Okay, so for this background, use some, I'm going to clean this out. I love these little dishes. They work extremely well. And mix some, oh, I think I'll use ultramarine blue. That will granulate on the paper and leave some interesting texture. Oh, I just dipped into the sap green. That's okay. I'll make a real pretty color. Yeah, that is really pretty. I think that's too dark, so I'm going to thin it out with some water here. Okay, I think that's good enough, and I'm just going to start working my way down to the bottom, going around the fruit, the bottle. Not worried about the edge because the mat will cover that. Just keep working your way down. You could choose whatever color you want for the wall. Just make your way to the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to do a color here for the tablecloth. The tablecloth has, it's one of the, like a crochet doily tablecloth. My mom used to make these. In fact, I still have some that are almost just like that. I'm not going to worry about the holes and the lacy look. I'm just going to mix a color and drop in a tablecloth. Let's see. Let me clean up this. Most of it. So I want kind of a beigey color. So I think I'm going to mix up some transparent yellow. It can mix with whatever the green is in there. Okay, this is transparent yellow. Yellow. And I'm going to put just a dab of violet. I'm probably going to put too much. No, I didn't. Usually I do. To tone down that yellow. I don't think it's toned down enough. No. Needs a little bit more. It's still greenish. Let's go some more. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Yeah, that's looking more tannish. Okay, here we go. I got it. It's pretty close to that tablecloth. Pretty close, close enough. I know that wall is still wet, so if it touches and bleeds, that's okay. It'll have a really neat effect, I'm sure. That's the edge of the table there. Kind of do a dry brush here going down the sides here. Let's see what that looks like. Sometimes that works really well. I think it's going to work okay for this. That's a lot of purple. Get a little more yellow. I don't know why this color is so hard for me to make, but it is. It's greenish still, very golden looking. Now it's going to look, oh, that's not too bad. I wanted a darker value than that. I think I've got it. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to do a little of the dry brush on the tablecloth with that darker value. And I'll come back in and add some shadow on the windowsill. We're getting there. We are getting there. So let this dry. Okay, I'm gonna add some of this darker brown color just here and there on the tablecloth, just not being too too precise, just to get some shadows here. Using dry brush technique. Leave too much white down there. I don't want to draw attention to the tablecloth because that's not the star attraction. I'm just dabbing here and there. Go ahead and get rid of most of that white. Leave just a little here and there. I think that's good. Some little shadows under the grapes here, under that glass, around that apple, around this. Smooth a little here and there. I think I'm just going to leave that alone. Okay, it's time to play with the fruit again. It's just really so pretty. Okay, so with this is my mixture of permanent rose and Scarlet Lake. It's mostly permanent rose. Put a little bit more Scarlet Lake in there. Now all I'm going to do is I want to add some deeper values at the bottom part of the apple. And then I'm going to take a damp brush, not a super wet one, and just kind of go around. Some of this brown is touching that and going into it, and I'm okay with that. I'm just going to dab some more of this color because I want it pretty dark at the bottom. Okay, I like that one. Let's do a little bit more on this one, darker at the bottom. Damp brush. That orange up there, bring my orange back over here. Oh, that's really orangey. I'm gonna put a little bit of the, okay, just a little bit at the bottom. Damp brush. Let it smooth out. Okay, I'm going to use, I think I'll use that orange for this little, I guess it's a peach. I don't know what it is. Damp brush. Let it go where it wants to go. I'm going to drop in a little bit more at the bottom. That's a lot more. Wipe my brush. Let's remove some of that. Okay, that purple got really washed away. So let me Get some more permanent rose, mix it in with this phthalo sitting here. Okay, that's a little better. Yeah, it's darker. It's still gonna dry a lot lighter. But I just want, I'm gonna take and just smooth that edge just a tad. Okay, the green grapes. Get some of this over here. I'm kind of just mixing whatever's over here. And I'm just going to add some value here at the bottom. And then I'm going to I guess that's a pear. I'm not sure what it is. Whatever it is, it's getting some Scarlet Lake. Just around the bottom. Damp brush. Okay, I want this fruit to have a little more. There you go. Drop in some color. And drop in a bit there too. Over here, I think that's still wet enough to do that too. Okay, so these grapes down here. I'm just kind of dabbing here and there. They will, you know, they're grapes from the shape, so they should read as grapes. Just leave some the highlight. And this green leaf, it just got really washed away. So got some sap green. I'm going to add a little burnt sienna to it to tone it down. There, that's kind of a, yeah, that's a natural looking green. I'm just going to go around the bottom of it. I'm going to dab some of this green at the bottom of some of those grapes. Just here and there. Dab my brush, smooth that out for that leaf. Let's see, the bottle is a little too white, but I'm not going to touch it until I add this darker background. I don't want it to be, I'm just going to gauge it once I do the dark background. Okay, I like how all these blooms happen down here on that tablecloth. It just, I think it turned out really good. Okay, up here with this green and brownish color that I've got going on, I'm going to just add some details here. Kind of damp brush to, I'm going to add a little more here on this side to make it a little darker. Add some more here on this little handle thingy. I'm not sure what that is. Add some here to show that there's this is a lever thing. Let's see where else I want to add. I really like the texture of all that. I'm going to add a little bit down here where it meets that windowsill. And take a damp brush, smooth it out. I think I want to highlight, got a white strip there because that's where the window closes, and I left that white to give it a little highlight, so I'm going to make it even more of a highlight by putting a little bit there. I'm going to add a little bit on the other side. See if I can draw a straight line. And then damp brush, smooth it out. I'm going to add a little bit here under each window. Damp brush. I'm not going to leave this white, but I'm going to leave it alone right now. It's just too white, but it needs to dry. Let's see, that is dry. So the background, okay, I need to just step away and let it dry. And then I will add some pretty deep values around the fruit bowl and finish the bowl here and add a little more shadow. Determine how much more I need to add to that bottle. I want to make sure I leave some white highlights here and there. I like the tablecloth. That really turned out. I love the blooms, how that just, I think it works. Okay, let it dry. Walk away, Diane, just walk away. Okay, I'm back and it's dry, but I happened to look at my ceramic plate here and I just love to see the different colors. Sometimes I think that we could just frame this. It's just so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to add a contrast here so that the fruit and the bottle really stand out. So I'm going to do just a little bit around here and here, not everywhere, just to kind of highlight this focal point. So I'm mixing up some ultramarine blue with whatever that green was in here. I think I'm going to put in a little bit of neutral tint. I want it a little darker. Yeah, maybe a little more neutral. Okay, I think that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wet around this bottle. I'm going to wet around it on this side too. I'm going to go in here, get that spot, come over here, a little bit here. Let's see. And I'm just going to, oh, probably got a little bit too much. I see puddles. I don't want puddles. I'm just going to start dropping it in. This blue against that orange is going to be pretty because they're complementary colors. I've got a damp brush. Just going to smooth it a little bit here. I don't want, oh, I really like that. drop a little in over here. That really makes the fruit pop there. I'm going to put a little bit in this glass. Just kind of dabbing it here and there. A little bit got into the bottle. That's okay. I can dab it up or I can just leave it there. The bottle's a little too bright, but we'll deal with that later. Make sure there are no hard lines. Just spread that water. Let the paint go as far as it wants to go. Now I've got a little bit more neutral tint. I want it kind of dark down in here. Okay, the brush is kind of dry. Just fiddling with it. Okay, I'm going to walk away. I think that's good. Just let it dry. Now I'm going to add some color right here where it's completely white. I've got some of this green over here. Kind of got every color mixed together over here. And I think this will be good. Just, yeah, that should be okay. Just to take some of that white off the page. It needs to be light, but it doesn't need to be white. I'm gonna add a little dampen it. Damp brush only. There, it needs something there. Okay, I'm just gonna mix everything in here and use this for some shadow here. Damp brush. Now, under this line is really dark. So this is still wet right here, so I'm not going to mess with that right now, but we will add some more to that later. I'm just going to add some lines here, some shadow lines with whatever this mix is. I'll throw in some of that. I'm just going right underneath where my pen mark is. And then I'm going to take a damp brush, and that's all I did. I'll do it over here once it's dry. Oh, we've got to do the bowl here. Let's see. The bowl color here is showing as a white bowl. I'm not sure I'm going to do white. I might use this color right here. I'll throw in a little purple. Yeah, that kind of makes a gray color. Yeah, that works. Okay, in between the fruit, I add this same color, sort of a shadow. If it's too much, just take a thirsty brush. A thirsty brush is one that is pretty dry so that it will soak up the water. Okay, I'm not happy with this plum. It needs more purple. Let's see what I can do. Okay, we're going to let that dry. Let's add a little more red here. I'm just fiddling with some values here. Damp brush, smooth it out. This Scarlet Lake is really intense. It looks so pretty. Okay, let's do a little more on this, whatever fruit that is. It could be a mango. Just dropping in some color there. I want it a little darker. Drop some water on the grapes. That's okay. I like how this bled over here because there would be some red tint on the tablecloth next to that. Okay, this is too bright, so I'm going to use some of this purpley blue, whatever this is, and kind of tone it down in spots. I'll take my damp brush and kind of smooth that around. I'm going to leave some white on the edge there. Make it a little darker at the bottom. That fruit, whatever that is, let's give it a little bit more. I think it's too much, so I'll take a thirsty brush and take some of that up. Let's put some of this shadow color down in here. Okay, the rim, there would be some shadow there. I'm getting too persnickety. I need to just stop. Okay, I think that's good for the bowl. This would need to not, that would not be bright white over there. Kind of tone it down a little here. Okay, I think we're at a point where we can wait for it to dry, and then I can add the shadows there. And I think we may be just about done. This may be too white right there. I should maybe take this light value and go over it. It needs to be light. Just, yeah, I think that's it. I think let's just let this dry and we'll evaluate everything in a bit. I like this apple. I like that. I like the orange. I'm learning to like the plum or whatever that is. We've had some disagreements. think I'll drop in some of this pink at the bottom. Oh yeah. I'm learning to like the plum. I like the glass. Love the window panes. They're just really pretty. Okay, walk away, Diane, and let it dry. Okay, it's dry. So I'm just going to add some shadow under here. I've got this ultramarine blue, and then the leftover paint I had here. I'm just going to mix that green in there. Let's just mix it all. Don't waste paint. Let's see, is that going to be dark enough? Probably not. Let's put in a tad more neutral. I think that should be good. Smooth that edge. Add some more just at the top. Just kind of dab it in. Because it would have a pretty good shadow right along there underneath that windowsill. Just bringing the wet area all the way down so it can go however far it wants to go. Okay, I'm going to drop some more in up here. I'm just dabbing it in. I'm going to make it a little darker at the top here too. Okay, let's mix some more. It's ultramarine and neutral. You could mix ultramarine and burnt sienna. It really doesn't matter much, just to get just a darker value. I'm just adding more here. And then smoothing that edge. Okay, I think I'm going to use some of this blue around the table here, just a little. Little shadows here. The reference photo doesn't really show shadows. Not really, a little bit under there, yeah, but not really. But I'm going to give some shadow. I love that red coming through there. just putting it where I think it needs to be. Yours may be in a different spot. I'm just... I want it darker down here. Okay, I'm going to let this dry, and then I will figure out if I think it's done. I think it might be. I think my favorite part is where this red is on this tablecloth. That's just so pretty, and the reflection in this bottle having a little bit of red there. I like that. Okay, walk away, Diane, let it dry, then come back. Okay, it's dry, and I think I'm okay with it. Again, my favorite part is this part right here and the reflection of the red on the bottle. There's one last thing you do for all your art to make it better instantly. Trust me, it works. Put a mat on it. There you go. It's done. I hope this was fun for you all. I hope you learned something, got something out of it, and enjoyed painting this. I really love how the windows are done. It's just so pretty. Very, just gorgeous. How when I took this picture, I took like probably 15 different angles of it because I just thought it was so pretty. But this one made the cut. I really like it. So I hope it was helpful, and thanks for watching.